Look at my budget speech. We look at 10% increase across the board for all those youth organizations, understanding that they are an extended arm of the ministry that helps divert kids from the life of crime and help mold the characters of those individuals. You know, the only way, again, I could say our future can remain bright if we continue to empower and invest inside our youth.
And that is all for this week. Thank you for joining us. I'm Joy Burns-Roger. Good evening.
I'm Dr. Wanda Rogers.
Hi, I'm Dr. Manish Sharma.
Hi, I'm Dr. Valencia Johnson,
Director of Ambulatory Services at Doctors Hospital.
I'm the Director of Imaging at Doctors Hospital.
I'm a pediatrician here at Doctors Hospital.
I am vaccinated against COVID-19.
I'm fully vaccinated against COVID-19.
I am fully vaccinated against COVID.
Are you?
Are you?
Are you?
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
The nation's leader asking two very important questions to Commonwealth countries here at CHOGM 2022. The highlights of his address straight ahead.
A prominent financial executive presenting on the economic status of the Bahamas at the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce luncheon meeting. And the Department of Environmental Health launching an aggressive larviciding and fogging exercise. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping the news as ministerial leaders continue with high-level discussions on strengthening the Commonwealth at the Commonwealth Heads of Government Meeting 2022. The Bahamas is making its presence felt as the nation's leader presented his views on financing blue-green growth for sustainable islands. Prime Minister Davis making it clear that high-emitting countries that contribute to climate disaster must step forward, step up, and pay. Shashina Wolf-Farquharson has the story from Rwanda tonight.
2.6 billion citizens are a part of the Commonwealth, a third of the world's population. Many of these Commonwealth countries are thriving, while some are extremely vulnerable. But what does most of these Commonwealth countries have in common? The threat of climate change. During his address today, the nation's leader asking two very important questions to member states. He asked, what can be done to raise awareness, and what can we do to drive urgent action for increased support?
Amidst all of it, the negative impacts of climate change remain the most fundamental existential threat. But that threat is not evenly spread. Those of us least responsible for the carbon emissions which drive climate change are suffering from the greatest negative impact.
Davis adding that this year the forecast is for more storms, and storms of great severity.
When the storms come, we have no escape. We do what we can to shelter, but we are at the mercy of the forces far beyond our control.
He says the fact is, small island development states need access to funding and technical support.
We need partners to support us in our efforts, and we do not think it is too much to ask those who have contributed so much to climate disaster to step forward and step up in partnering with us to mitigate against its impact.
During a fireside chat alongside Prime Minister of Antigua and Barbuda, President of the Maldives, and President of COP26, Davis added that while there is access to grant funding, the Bahamas does not qualify because of a per capita criteria. When asked what practical steps the Bahamas is taking on this issue, he had this to say about the high-emitting countries.
The greenhouse gas they emit in their countries don't stay in their country. And they have a responsibility for what they're doing. And they need to, as my brother Prime Minister is saying, they have to pay for it.
Now, according to a report released by the Commonwealth Secretariat, ocean conservation received 7% from the Global Environmental Facility.
Why is this? There's no obvious answer. Anecdotally, it appears that everyone imagines that much more is being spent, but it's not.
Now, the Prime Minister adding that the world is experiencing a number of one-generational challenges. However, he says that we participate in the Commonwealth because together, much can be achieved. On behalf of my videographer, Anton Brennan, I'm Shashina Wolf-Farquharson reporting from the Kigali Conference Exhibition Village.
Well, thanks, Shashina. The Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce holding its business luncheon meeting today and the keynote speaker was the Group Chief Executive Officer at Fidelity Bank and Trusted Limited, Gowon Bo. Bo addressing chamber members with his presentation on the economic status of the Bahamas and the way forward, while urging the government and business owners to start looking at spending as an investment.
I said now is the time to plan for the future. It is not about immediate reward. But businesses and government need to look at every dollar of expenditure as an investment. What am I expecting to get out of this investment, whether it's in my people, whether it is in my facilities, whether it is in my architecture in terms of my IT, etc. And it is not a gift. It is not throwing money away.
The financial executive noting that one of the issues which led to spending concerns in the country over the years is lack of financial data tracking, but also focusing on another critical concern, the skill gap that exists in the business communities.
But our lack of data has hurt us tremendously. We don't know where we were generating revenues in the past. Our gross value add, or saying what industries. So we know about construction because it's very much in our face. We knew about tourism. We saw the emergence of a number of small retail industries during COVID that kept things going. But do we have an appreciation for how vital they were to the economy? What did they contribute? And the answer was no.
Well, the second most visited national park in the country, recently celebrating 40 years since its inception. The Lucayan National Park sits on the eastern end of the island and will see new restoration projects, much to the excitement of the Bahamas National Trust executives.
The Lucayan National Park is building back bigger and better. We're standing on the foundation of what will soon be a new welcome center, just one aspect of a number of restoration efforts as they celebrate their 40th year anniversary. Those celebrations culminating with a gift shop dedication ceremony and the commemoration of B&T Executive Director's retirement after a 20-year stint with the organization. Ellsworth Ware, GB Parks manager at the B&T, says the site, which regularly boasts of 30,000 visitors yearly, has weathered many storms, but the anniversary is a testament to its resilience. Alluding to the newly constructed gift shop, he says after Dorian, procuring building supplies was challenging, but phase 1 is finally complete.
This will serve as basically an outlet for us to sell B&T items and to sell souvenir items to visitors, and we don't intend to literally run this ourselves, so we were looking for this to be something that can serve to increase economical benefits for persons in the East Grand Bahama area. So we're going to be subbing it out. Subsequently, the plan is to move on to the visitor center. In keeping with sustainable methods, that structure is expected to be prefabricated during a 3 to 4 month period, and Kerry says it will be an added benefit. From there, we'll be able to showcase artifacts and information, educational information about the park. So we would like it to be something where any visitors coming to the park would come into the Welcome Center first, and then go and venture on the trails, having much more knowledge about the park. And we're also going to incorporate a deli.
These restoration projects tie into Executive Director Eric Carey's legacy tour. And as we're reflected, he says the organization has grown exponentially with Carey at the helm.
I've seen quite a bit of growth in staff. We've expanded the number of parks throughout the system. We've implemented policies and bylaws that will allow for proper management and enforcement of the parks. So I could say there's a number of things that he is overseeing.
Now, Carey says the construction projects are a timely move.
With the sale of the Grand Lucayan, with Carnival coming in, with the other cruise lines looking to increase their visitation to Grand Bahama, those people are going to be looking for things to do. One of the things that we hope they will do is to visit their national parks, visit your national parks, and by doing that provide economic benefits. We will employ more staff, but there will be also a lot of indirect benefits.
And as for retirement plans,
I'm from Tarpon Bay. We are a drinking village with a fishing problem, is what I've been told. So I'm going there to do a little bit of both. I will stay involved in fundraising and government relations for the BNT because despite the fact I might be moving on from this role, the BNT will forever be close to my heart.
For the Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition, I'm Raven Davis.
In other news, an infestation of mosquitoes reported on Grand Bahama from East End to West End. Residents everywhere are complaining about the pesky insects. Tonight, Shane Stubbs tells us that environmental health is coming to the rescue.
Indiscriminate dumping and other forms of indirect water collection is leading to an uptick in mosquito production. Mosquitoes can become a vexing concern around this time of year, and the department is doing everything in their power to limit the production of mosquitoes breeding. The Department of Environmental Health has begun its fogging and larviciding programs to alleviate the infestation of mosquitoes. Assistant Director Bertha McPhee Duncanson detailing the steps of the exercise.
We've done larviciding from West End. We've done some in Pindus Point. We've gone even as far as East End. So we've taken care of the community west and heading into east with larviciding. Then we would do fogging. The larviciding will take care of the larvas. The fogging will take care of the adult. And so that is our objective, to decrease the number of larvas, which will then decrease the adult population.
McPhee Duncanson also says that items such as these tires and this fridge are key contributors to mosquito infestation. One female mosquito can lay up to 100 eggs. With the speedy rate one female mosquito can produce larvae, the assistant director is encouraging the wider community to do all they can to keep their immediate areas clean and to stop the indiscriminate dumping.
Let's say 4 times a month, almost one female mosquito can lay up to 100 eggs. And so that's why it's so important for us to ensure that we keep our environment free of water, because they have to lay their eggs in water for germination. And mosquitoes like dark places for breeding, and so they will be in those tires. And so we just need to keep our environment clean.
The Department of Environmental Health usually begins their fogging process early in the mornings and just before sunset in the evening. For the Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition, I'm Shane Stubbs.
Well, the Ministry of Education and Technical and Vocational Training announcing a short time ago that the collection of report cards for grades 1 to 11 for all public schools shall be delayed by 14 days so as to address technical challenges related to report card generation encountered in the ministry's learning management system. The ministry will provide specific details on the date and hours of report card collection in due course, and the parents will have the option to receive the report cards either by hard copy or digital. In other news, nearly 1 month has passed since the first of several alleged sexual assault matters were reported in Grand Bahama. Our ZNS News reached out to Assistant Superintendent of Police Stephen Roll for an update on the matters. And as we hear in this report, police are still on the hunt for the suspect or suspects responsible. The hunt continues for the person or persons responsible for the string of alleged sexual assault incidents in Grand Bahama. You may recall that last month, 3 women were allegedly assaulted in the Caravel Beach area within a 3-week period. Now on May 23, 2022, police officials released a composite sketch of a man wanted for rape and armed robbery. However, nearly 1 month later, no one has been arrested. And according to Assistant Superintendent of Police Stephen Roll, they are still searching for the individual or individuals responsible.
We put the flyer out there. However, at this point, it has proven negative. But we want to just hit the public with information in regards to those recent sexual assaults. The police come forward so we're able to have these matters come to a closure. We have intensified our patrols day and night with the assurance to keep the residents feel more comfortable at their residence, and also hoping that we will, by some chance, confront, or I would say catch these persons before they commit the next offense.
In the meantime, officials are urging members of the public to remain vigilant as the rapist is still at large.
We just urge the public to monitor your residence, to please ensure your doors and windows are properly locked and secured at all times. And we also want to advise you to, if not already done so, to install security cameras around your premises. And if you want to even have a dog, per se, in the yard to alert you, and also alarm. And of course, speak to your neighbors. Let people are neighborly, but our neighbors, so that we could better protect our communities.
Roll says neighborhood crime watch groups are effective, and he is urging active groups not to become complacent.
The neighborhood crime watch thus far has been very helpful. They're sharing information. Anything that seems to be suspicious or ordinary, they will send the information forward. So for the most part, the neighborhood watch has been very useful in matters such as this. And I want to continue to say to the in those group chats or in the neighborhood groups to continue to pass the information. Don't care how small it may seem. It's something useful. The police will look into it and see how best we could use it to help us solve these matters. A lot of posts are going around on social media are done by civilians and that are not official from the police. But once the police have information, it will be released either to the press or maybe through a social means.
You are watching The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Stay with us. There's more news when we come back.
Come on down to Dolly Madison and get your hurricane supplies before it's too late. Don't let supply chain issues cause you to miss out on hurricane supplies you need.
Come on down. Now.
Innovation Small Business Fridays, coming up soon. An online event dedicated to Caribbean small business owners and entrepreneurs with everything they need to pivot to success, transform their business, and multiply their growth. With exciting keynotes by Kadeen Mayers and Mark Farrell and interactive workshops, learn how to make money, gain digital know-how, and pitch your exciting new business idea. Don't miss this opportunity. We'll be giving away $15,000 in cash and prizes. Register now at flowbusiness.co/events.
Shop the 50% off selected items end of season sale going on now at Pandora, Port Lucaya Marketplace.
It is the Commonwealth's highest consultative and policy-making gathering. And ZNS is taking you with us all the way to the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in Kigali, Rwanda.
Ladies and gentlemen, prepare for the battle.
Leaders from 54 Commonwealth countries will gather to highlight and achieve some of its biggest goals under the theme Delivering a Common Future, Connecting, Innovation, Transforming. Be sure to tune in from June 20th through the 25th on The Bahamas Tonight, beginning at 6:30 p.m. only on the ZNS Network.
This is where it happens. Those moments that impact our lives. Giving you the information that you need this hurricane season.
In the
Wherever there is news, we're there.
They try to push rich on me, they want push rich on me. They don't care in front of company.
The King of the North is back. Howard 104.5 FM.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. The Minister of National Security, the Honorable Wayne Munro, was the guest speaker at Grand Bahama Academy's graduation ceremony. Munro outlining to the class of 2022 some of the things he has learned in his professional and private life. His advice to the students: use wisdom in their decision-making as they grow.
Anytime you have a decision to make, all you need to think about is when I have to answer in the judgment, because the judgment is coming for all of us. When I have to answer in the judgment, what will this say to me? And if you want some contemporary wisdom on it, everyone thinks that you chase money. I'm not saying that money is bad. The Bible doesn't say money is bad. The love of money is the root of all evil. And if you take it from Biggie say more money, more problems.
And as young Bahamians, the National Security Minister says they are standing on the cusp of transformational change. He says the country is depending on them to possess the land, and that the endless possibilities set out in their theme are for them to achieve.
You are already seeing some of it. You look in professional sports, we're represented there. You look, I think, Myron Roll, Dr. Myron Roll, a former football player, a neurosurgeon, Bahamian. So you are our future. All of this is for you. You are to move us to, as people like to say, the next level. Those are the possibilities that are before you. My only advice to you would be, as you reach for them, as you lean to them, do so in an ethical manner.
Now, some 15 students were a part of this year's graduating class at the Grand Bahama Academy. Well, in other news, the Bahamas Laws of Life essay competition is an annual competition based on Sir John Templeton's Laws of Life and is seen as a chance for the youth to write about their beliefs and principles. A student out of Maurice Moore's experience during the COVID-19 pandemic, earning him honors a finalist in that competition. Shane Stubbs has more.
6th grader Ronaldo made his penmanship, earning him recognition amongst his peers. The 11-year-old finished as a finalist in the 2022 Bahamas Laws of Life essay competition, with the top essay coming out of Grand Bahama in the primary division. Focusing on being a part of the solution and not the problem, young Mather touched on personal experiences during the COVID-19 pandemic. Throughout the global ordeal, Mather's focus was on providing relief for his mother. He says finishing as a finalist in the competition was an amazing feeling.
Mainly helping her deal with my brothers, helping her around the house, mainly keeping stuff in order for her so she doesn't have to fix and put more stress on her. It was incredibly amazing, a good feeling knowing that I got top scoring on the entire island and in the primary division.
Mather is an avid writer according to his grandmother Geraldina Douglas Colbrook, and with a vivid imagination, young Ronaldo being named a finalist was no shock to his teacher, Felicia Johnson Thurston.
He is an avid writer and reader, very vivid imagination. Of course, he likes to write game stories, be a war hero, but in all of that in time will tell. But for now, we are extremely proud of him, of course. We love him very much and we support him. At this particular time, it speaks volume of the school, and I'm very, very proud of the efforts and the accomplishment that they put behind these children. Of course, you know, it's not just students, it's teachers as well.
The writing was very touching, and I'm not surprised that he ended up emerging as one of the finalists.
The competition is open to students in grades 5 through 12 and local college students aged 25 and under. Each student was asked to select a law of life that expressed a key value or ideal to live by and explain its importance to how each student should live their life. For the Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition, I'm Shane Stubbs.
All Sports is up next with Jay Philippe.
I'm Jay Philippe, and welcome to Sports Buzz. The Miami Marlins Bahamian Heritage Night is set for this Saturday in Miami, Florida. The main attraction will be Jazz Chisholm, the second baseman, as they take on the New York Mets.
Jazz is on a pretty good roll right now. He's playing excellent baseball, and so we're looking forward to his performance. But we have some pre-activities that's going to be leading up to this event. You know, some Junkanoo dances and other activities that is being organized by our organizing committee. And then there's also be a post-activity, Junkanoos, interviews with Jazz, and the conversation will be going on between not only Jazz, but we have requested that the other 3 or 4 minor leaguers be present at these games that play for the Marlins, and they're all Bahamians.
Hollingsworth asked that the Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Mario Boleg, will be throwing out the first pitch to Jazz on that day.
This month actually is Caribbean Heritage Month in Miami, and this is winding down the Heritage Night. And so what we're doing is celebrating Jazz and all those Bahamians who are involved with the Marlins organization. And as far as the consulate is concerned, you know, we're excited about what is taking place, and we look forward to the participation of all the Bahamian fans. Those in the South Florida area, in the diaspora. You know, we're inviting them from Key West all the way up to Tallahassee to come on down and be a part of this exciting time.
From the baseball park now to the track, the B3A's Track and Field Championships is also set for this weekend in New Providence. Among those athletes competing this weekend is Aaron Barr, Shatalia Dorset, and Michael Stiles.
I'm trying to come back with a gold medal, of course, trying to lower my PR, do the best that I can, and just finish without any injuries.
Right now, I'm just working on bringing my knees up so I get more speed and just run the race better, and just hope to come on top. I had some hamstring problems, but I get over it, so just try to do my best and see what happens.
They have a lot of competition, so I just got to go out there and trust the work that my coach been giving me and trust the work that I've been doing.
And finally in sports, Grand Bahamian Shabazz Young is currently playing in the minor leagues for the Buffalo Bisons, a AAA affiliate of the Toronto Blue Jays. Young is working his way back into regular season form after missing out on the start of the season with some injuries. So far, the 24-year-old outfielder has a total of 17 hits, 14 runs to go along with 2 home runs, 8 RBIs, and 6 stolen bases. Young and the Bisons is currently playing in a 6-game series against St. Paul's Saints, which is an affiliate of the Minnesota Twins. And that's a quick check on sports, ladies and gents. I'm Jay Philippe. Be blessed.
It's dancing time, so Freeport, get ready for Rake and Scrape Reloaded Part 4 with Songbird, Veronica Bishop, Bahamian artist Papa Smurf, and Mellow D. It all goes down Saturday, June 25th at No Holes Restaurant, Bar and Lounge, Settlers Way.
Third Dimension on Yellow Pine Street introduces its new home improvement center. Step into our brand new fully stocked showroom for the latest in doors, tiles, housewares, kitchenwares, bathwares, vanities, power tools, electrical, and plumbing supplies. So stop by our showroom to view our full range of products or call the Home Advisor hotline at 602-0935 today. We are your home advisors.
Are you tired, overweight, having trouble sticking to your health and fitness goals? Well, look no further. The Fitness Connection has teamed up with ZNS to bring you Health Bites. This and every Thursday, tune in, and we'll make sure you get on track and stay on track with your health and fitness goals. Tune in.
It is the Commonwealth's highest consultative and policy-making gathering. And ZNS is taking you with us all the way to the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in Kigali, Rwanda.
Ladies and gentlemen, prepare for the battle.
Leaders from 54 Commonwealth countries will gather to highlight and achieve some of its biggest goals under the theme Delivering a Common Future, Connecting, Innovation, Transforming. Be sure to tune in from June 20th through the 25th on the Bahamas Tonight, beginning at 6:30 p.m. only on the ZNS Network.
If you're thinking of investing in Grand Bahama or any other island, contact Bahama Island Properties for all of your real estate services. Visit their office in the Port Lucaya Marketplace, their website bahamaislandproperties.com, or call them at 374-7653.
Bad little lady, yeah, she be driving me crazy. When she looking her lips and moving them hips like coming, baby. I wanna take it down now.
The King of the North is back. Howard 104.5 FM.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Sarah Davis, you are our Facebook friend of the day. We want to say thank you so much for your support. We do appreciate it. We also want to say a special congratulations going out to Joshua Gardner on successfully completing high school. That's coming in from your aunt, Christine Pinder, here in the North. And that concludes the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. On behalf of the entire news team here, I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to stay tuned as the Bahamas Tonight continues.
In the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, a call for the Commonwealth to honor commitments. Efforts to end taxi plate rentals. Gun violence to blame for another homicide. And a win for the Bahamas at the Central Basket. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts now.
This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC Superfast Internet for Less. Best rate, no debate. Sign up today.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. I'm Mukesh Lapinder. Thanks so much for joining us. His address at CHOGM's Business Forum brief, but Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis is hoping it made a big impact on today's high-level discussions on financing blue-green growth for sustainable islands. With more on what the Prime Minister had to say, we go to our Shashina Roll-Farquharson, who reports from Rwanda.
2.6 billion citizens are a part of the Commonwealth, a third of the world's population. Many of these Commonwealth countries are thriving, while some are extremely vulnerable. But what does most of these Commonwealth countries have in common? The threat of climate change. During his address today, the nation's leader asking two very important questions to member states. He asked, what can be done to raise awareness, and what can we do to drive urgent action for increased support?
Amidst all of it, the negative impacts of climate change remain the most fundamental existential threat. But that threat is not evenly spread. Those of us least responsible for the carbon emissions which drive climate change are suffering from the greatest negative impact.
Davis adding that this year the forecast is for more storms, and storms of great severity.
When the storms come, we have no escape. We do what we can to shelter, but we are at the mercy of the forces far beyond our control.
He says the fact is, small island development states need access to funding and technical support.
We need partners to support us in our efforts, and we do not think it is too much to ask those who have contributed so much to climate disaster to step forward and step up in partnering with us to mitigate against its impact.
During a fireside chat alongside Prime Minister of Antigua and Barbuda, President of the Maldives, and President of COP26, Davis added that while there is access to grant funding, the Bahamas does not qualify because of a per capita criteria. When asked what practical steps the Bahamas is taking on this issue, he had this to say about the high-emitting countries.
The greenhouse gas they emit in their countries don't stay in their country. And they have a responsibility for what they're doing. And they need to, as my brother Prime Minister is saying, they have to pay for it.
Now, according to a report released by the Commonwealth Secretariat, ocean conservation receives only 0.01% of all development funding. Support for actions relating to the oceans receive less than 2% of funding from the Green Climate Fund and only 0.7% from the Global Environmental Facility.
Why is this? There's no obvious answer. Anecdotally, it appears that everyone imagines that much more is being spent, but it's not.
Now, the Prime Minister adding that the world is experiencing a number of one-generational challenges. However, he says that we participate in the Commonwealth because together, much can be achieved. On behalf of my videographer, Anton Brennan, I'm Shashina Wolf-Farquharson reporting from the Kigali Conference Exhibition Village.
Well, on the sideline of those meetings, the Prime Minister and his wife visited the Kigali Genocide Memorial, the Prime Minister calling it a sobering reflection of man's inhumanity to man, adding that such actions must never reoccur. Well, back here in the capital, the budget debate in its final stretch over in the upper chamber. It's there that the Attorney General highlighted a suite of proposed pieces of legislation aimed at tackling long-standing issues plaguing the country. Fern Carey has the story.
Highlighting the need for modern legislation to be enacted that will address long-standing issues facing the country, Attorney General Senator the Honorable Ryan Pinder indicated in his contribution to the budget debate in the upper chamber Wednesday that a suite of laws will be laid in Parliament this upcoming financial year that will pave the way for the regulation of medical cannabis.
This legislation is internationally benchmarked against the countries around the world that are in this industry. We're not newcomers to this. This is actually a mature industry. Canada has been doing it for more than 15 years. The framework will be for the regulation of the medical cannabis industry from the farm to the border, and will provide a separate regulatory framework for industrial hemp, which is used for wellness products and for industrial uses such as clothing, rope, building materials.
Meanwhile, the Nationalization Bill 2022 is also expected to tackle the controversial citizenship issue head-on. The proposed law will allow Bahamian men and women to pass on their citizenship in all circumstances.
We will advance appropriate legislation to finally bring equality to Bahamian men and women in the transmission of citizenship to their children, bringing a conclusion through law of the vexing issues that we experience of inequality in this country. And I'm glad my colleague, Senator Ellis, brought this up, because I'm sure due to her advocacy, the opposition will have nothing to say about this issue.
With countries globally charged with reducing their carbon footprint by 2030, the Carbon Exchange Bill is also expected to position the Bahamas to monetize its carbon credits.
We will be bringing to Parliament specifically drafted legislation to establish a carbon credit exchange in the Bahamas. The desire is to create a regulated framework that will establish the Bahamas as the regional and hopefully the global leader for the trade in carbon credits. We will participate in a vertically integrated carbon credit marketplace, Madam President. The Bahamas is a world leader in this matter.
Debate on the 2022-2023 national budget continues in the upper chamber. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Fern Carey.
Well, prior to the pandemic, the Bahamas Film and Television Commission assisted on average 200 projects per year. Further, it extracted between $5 and $6 million annually from featured films, television shows, documentaries, and still photo shoots. Global Relations Consultant in the Ministry of Tourism, Senator the Honorable Randy Roll admits those results are good, but that the Bahamas can do even better with the necessary resources. Roll, who was contributing to the budget debate in the upper chamber Wednesday, was building a case for the untapped potential of an industry that in Africa generates some $5 billion a year.
So far for the year, Bahamian production companies have assisted productions such as Netflix, Empire, Bling, HGTV, Island of Bryant, which is based on Andros, and featured films out of Germany that has been in Nassau, Paradise Island, Andros, and Harbor Island. And those are just a few of the projects. The good thing about these productions, Madam President, is that this money spent in the Bahamas to complete their film or television show is just the beginning of the good news for us.
Well, opposition leader in the Senate, the Honorable Darren Henfield, meantime building on his party's argument that the 2022-2023 proposed budget should reflect more to assist the majority.
This budget provides over $50 million for consultancies and $5 million for ceremonies, but not nearly enough to strengthen Bahamian businesses, to build up or to raise up Bahamian capital funds locally, improve Bahamian skills in the labor pool, and lower the cost of energy, as they promised.
Hitting back, the Attorney General noted that the government's efforts are in line with protocols needed to establish a globally respected sovereign fund. Tied to that, PPPs that will also harness significant revenue streams to support the Family Island Infrastructure Fund. A key element, he says, to empowering those economies and, by extension, GDP.
So the Infrastructure Fund, which the Family Island Development Trust Fund will be a sub-fund of, is going to be set up under the Santiago Principles. The Bahamas government will own the property that the airports are on. We will have a special purpose vehicle that is going to hold the leases to those airports, and then there will be a management agreement with an operator who will come in with capital. So the government would provide a lease to the property plus some cash capital through the Infrastructure Fund. The manager will come in with cash capital, perform the upgrades, and then take the responsibilities of managing that airport. And then the revenues from that airport on landing fees, concession fees, and the like will be shared amongst the parties, the government and the operator, as part of that management agreement.
In other news this evening, Bahamas Power and Light execs are hoping to ensure the hot summer days do not turn into even hotter summer nights following a string of recent blackouts here in the capital. As Desmond Saunders tells us, executives are determined there are minimal hiccups.
Wicked weather to blame for the massive power cuts experienced over the weekend. Bahamas Power and Light CEO says BPL crews have been on the ground since Monday, restoring electricity to thousands of affected consumers.
We had a number of lightning strikes that pretty much were concentrated in the southwestern portion of New Providence. I think in total we had about 41 different areas that were impacted. But it was mainly the southwestern corridor. That would have been on Sunday afternoon, and just because of the nature of some of the damages experienced, some of the outages extended into Monday morning. Power is being restored to basically, I'd say, 99% of those areas. We have one area where we had some really extensive damages, and that's the West Ridge area.
Executive responsible for transmission and distribution, Sterling Moss, says BPL is doing all it can to prevent such occurrences, as it has no control over Mother Nature. Severe weather conditions over the weekend halting BPL's transmission and generation systems.
So when you have lightning weather impact situations, we have three modes of restoration. We restore with automatic systems that restore supplies automatically. Under weather, lightning weather conditions, that is not always allowed. And so that would mean that crews have to travel to particular locations to restore supplies. And so those bulk areas are restored. However, during lightning strikes, there are areas where there are overhead fuses, and we saw during this storm impacts to lightning overhead systems that were destroyed. And so crews will have to go on those sites and restore power, and that would result in an extension of the outages.
BPL CEO says they have now heard the cries of consumers.
We have stepped up our maintenance programs. We are doing a lot of trend analysis. So in areas where we see that are prone to these type of strikes, we put in reclosers, we put in interrupters, things that would assist us in our restoration efforts and allow us to be able to expedite the restoration of services. What I can tell you is that we're doing all the maintenance, preventative maintenance that we can, all of the non-intrusive maintenance things like the thermographic imaging and pole top inspections and the like to try and ensure that our systems are as robust as possible.
Now, New Providence has historically been plagued with blackouts during the summer with increased demand for power by consumers. But BPL CEO maintains that his organization has its hands on the wheel to ensure a smooth summer period. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Desmond Saunders.
Well, still to come, another shot to the homicide count. The details of that and more coming up after the break.
This portion of the news was brought to you by Sun Oil Limited Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
You have enough things to worry about. Living in a world that can seem opposite of the things you are trying to accomplish.
I can need a little help with this.
We're here to let you know that you don't have to go at it alone. Choose peace of mind. Choose comfort. Choose CB. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Innovation Small Business Fridays, coming up soon. An online event dedicated to Caribbean small business owners and entrepreneurs with everything they need to pivot to success, transform their business, and multiply their growth. With exciting keynotes by Kadeen Mears and Mark Farrell and interactive workshops, learn how to make money, gain digital know-how, and pitch your exciting new business idea. Don't miss this opportunity. We'll be giving away $15,000 in cash and prizes. Register now at flowbusiness.co/events.
They say that when it hits you. A feeling so strong that it's impossible not to give into. A juicy piece of KFC to feel elevated by the aroma and to free fall into its exciting flavor. Some call it love, attraction, desire. We call it KFC. Ignite your senses with KFC.
To think of the bank as my personal ATM machine. If I wanted a new car, new furniture, a weekend trip to Miami, no problem. Just max out the credit card or top up my loan. I was a big baller until I realized that 75% of my salary was going to pay back all those loans. Fidelity's personal financial coaching was the best solution. Fidelity gave me a plan with a debt consolidation loan that has a built-in savings that pays 5% interest. I now only have one low monthly payment plus money in my pocket. Give Fidelity Bank a call at 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 in Freeport. Visit any of Fidelity's locations or visit a website at fidelitygroup.com.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies Limited. If it's healthcare, it's here.
In news on the health front, a 50-year-old New Providence man, the latest on record to succumb to the COVID-19 virus. Health officials documenting his death as last Tuesday, June 14th. The Bahamas now up to 816 COVID deaths and added 10 under investigation. The number of COVID infections much more favorable, 18 on New Providence, 6 on Cat Island, and 1 on Grand Bahama, for a total of 25 for June 21st. Meantime, hospitalizations are still at 39. 35 people recovered on Tuesday. Who's behind the latest homicide and why? The very two questions detectives are hoping to get to the bottom of after being called to the junction of Edmonton and Carmichael Road last night.
On their arrival, they met a male lying on the sidewalk, and he was suffering from gunshot wounds. The medical technicians later examined him and determined that there were no signs of life. Our initial investigations so far reveal that the victim, along with other patrons, were at a business establishment when a small vehicle pulled up. Two males exited that vehicle armed with weapons and discharged them in the direction of the patrons. The victim ran from the scene and he was followed and subsequently shot by one of the armed bandits.
Police Press Liaison Officer Superintendent Audley Peters made this all-too-familiar appeal to anyone with information on this latest incident.
The persons who would have been here or passing and may have seen what happened or heard what happened to assist us with that information so that we could bring this matter to a closure. They can go to the Carmichael Road Police Station, or they can speak with Chief Superintendent Michael Johnson and his team at the Criminal Investigations Department.
Around the same time last evening, a man killed on the Paradise Island Bridge. Initial reports are that the driver of a truck was traveling south on the old PI Bridge when he felt an obstruction. Moments later, he discovered he had fatally struck a pedestrian. Investigating officers found the victim unresponsive. EMS personnel subsequently examined the body and concluded that the injured man had died. The coroner has been alerted to the incident. Meantime, the police are relying on the victim's next of kin to confirm his identity. The matter is under active investigation. Well, a shake-up on the streets coming from many holders of taxi plates. This as the Ministry of Transport and Housing announces in a statement its intention to recall rented and dormant plates. And this after a reported series of consultations with the industry stakeholders, including the Bahamas Taxi Cab Union, and follows a 2021 commitment to, quote, modernize the transportation sector. The press release adding that the recall of such delinquent plates brings to an end a long-held monopoly in the taxi business and makes room for increased small business ownership. The ministry's press release also revealing that some 90 plates in the capital are inactive.
And I'm advised that upon the notice, some 30 dormant plate owners came in, satisfied their arrears, and kept the plates. And that happened yesterday on the notice. So legitimate taxi operators have a legitimate claim to their plates.
That there, Attorney General, the Honorable Ryan Pinder, speaking to the issue in the upper chamber this afternoon. Now, news of the recall is welcomed by some longtime taxi drivers. Our news team speaking to a veteran driver who's hopeful that this time around he may be on the receiving end of his very own plate.
You have a lot of senior drivers who was in the business like myself from 2000, and it was shocking to know that the senior drivers still trying to get a plate when you have new drivers who just came in the business probably a month, 2 months, a year, 3 years, and they have a plate. They now have their own plate. So you can imagine waiting for 30 years to get a plate, and then finally when the plate come around, you still don't have one. So I think it's a good idea that.
Hundreds of millions of dollars budgeted for infrastructural development throughout the country, much of it road repairs and reconstruction. In this report, Carla Palmer tells us what's planned and public commentary on what's to come.
We have an aggressive platform to improve infrastructure across the country.
Acting Prime Minister, the Honourable Chester Cooper, says that there's a myriad of public works the government is going to be undertaking in the coming months. While the roadworks are not necessarily set to begin here in the capital, upgrades will take place here in New Providence nonetheless.
We expect, for example, there to be a new roadway expansion in the Gladstone Road area, for example.
From dangerous potholes to vexing uneven surfaces on almost every street, motorists are fed up and are welcoming any relief.
It's bad, man. People can't be getting break up in these bad holes, man. Yes, I'd like for them to fix our road. So, yeah, at least our car would be getting break up, man. We need good road at least, man.
Had to change my wheel bearing, break it up. This road really need to be fixed.
The infrastructural improvements will not stop here. The Family Islands will also be refurbished.
We're building infrastructure across the country, though. We're building 40 miles of roads in Exuma. We're looking at bridges. We're repairing the Staniel Key Bridge. And if you ask this question to the MP for Eleuthera or Andros or Abaco, they will have similar very pleasing stories.
These residents on several Family Islands are anticipating the benefits to come. Chuck Fox lives on Long Island, Glenn Roll on Exuma, Audra Scavawa on Eleuthera, and Anthony Molly on Abaco.
I've spent about $1,000, at least $1,000 on repairs of my vehicle. I've had my CV joint. I've hit a hole, and my whole CV joint just dropped in the road. I've lost count how much money I've spent on tires.
Yes, the resident in Exuma are getting a brand new road and it's under construction, and we are excited about it because the cars won't be getting a lot of wear and tear on the vehicles anymore. But the main road from the airport going into Georgetown has already been completed. Going into Georgetown has already been completed so far.
In Eleuthera, we are anticipating the road improvement works, and we are so grateful to the government and the Ministry of Public Works for all their efforts they're making on behalf of the people.
There are potholes that need to be repaired from the north to the south. A major resurfacing would benefit this island greatly, and we all will be the benefactors.
Well over $100 million has been earmarked by the government for infrastructural development, and work have reportedly already commenced. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Carla Palmer.
Meanwhile, the Ministry of Environment and Natural Resources is zooming in on sustainability efforts and initiatives, starting with a tour of the 160-acre New Providence Ecology Park, an effort coinciding with World Environment Day. This year's theme, Only One Earth. Department of Environmental Services Director Melanie McKenzie says officials have given priority to more sustainable methods of waste management, and this in order to divert the amount of waste headed to the landfill.
As you know, waste can also be a contributor to climate change and all the other environmentally objectionable things that are out there. So we decided that this month we would start with landfill, because that's the thing we most concern ourselves with. How do we manage solid waste in the country? Now, we've made great improvements with collection, and we've made vast improvements in how we actually dispose of the waste. So we wanted everybody to be able to see that.
Officials say the Ecology Park manages to divert some 30,000 tons of waste from the landfill each year. This due to practices such as recycling and composting. New Providence Ecology Park Director Ginny McKinney says in order to mitigate the effects of climate change, such sustainability methods must become the norm.
As we know, we're vulnerable. We're vulnerable as a nation. We're a nation of islands, and we need to be seen to be doing. And when we do that, we're helping ourselves and our kids and my grandkids. We have to think, for future generations. And so MPEP is, the start of that.
You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Stay with us.
Health is the greatest gift. That's where we come in. Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies is a premier distributor of medical equipment, as well as medical and surgical consumables. Our engineers are always on hand, providing top care service that saves lives. We carry a wide selection of over-the-counter and prescription items, IV fluids, and other injections. Our products are state-of-the-art, and our entire team stays on top of cutting-edge technology. With more than 2 decades of dedicated service, Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies continues to be a trendsetter and innovator in healthcare. We have set ourselves apart by truly caring for our customers. We understand the intricacies of healthcare, and we produce spectacular results. We cherish our partnerships and nurture our friendships as we continue on our quest to help everyone maintain that wonderful gift of good health. Find us on 9th Fifth Terrace, Centerville, right in the heart of the medical service epicenter of Nassau, Bahamas.
Keisha, what you saying, girl?
Man, Tony, you scared me.
Oh, they scared.
How this pandemic treating you? You working yet?
After all this time with no vaccine, no job, I had to do something.
Oh, so that's why you finally get your vaccine.
Man, I had to do what I had to do. Now I telling everyone get your vaccine. So you been good?
Yeah, man. I get my vaccine. I working, doing my little nail thing on the side. You know.
Solid. So when we getting out though?
Sweet boy, you couldn't handle us then, and you can't handle us now.
Wow. That's how you can do me, Keisha?
All right, Mr. Big Boss Tony. Stay safe.
You too, Keisha.
Vaccinate today, live tomorrow. A message by WHO, Canada, and USAID.
The Tourism Development Corporation has completely rebranded the organization, hoping to spark more support for tourism entrepreneurs. The TDC hosted a relaunch and stakeholder meeting to bring awareness about its rebrand. The program will entail product development and new ways to enhance, rejuvenate, and diversify the tourism products and business development.
The TDC has been relaunched with 4 critical priorities. Very important. Product development. Strategizing new ways to enhance, rejuvenate, and diversify the tourism product. Secondly, one of the key critical priorities is the development of business. Widening entrepreneurship opportunities and strengthening existing tourism SMEs is a critical function if we are to regain our competitive advantage in this post-COVID era. The third critical pillar is the creation of linkages, strategic pairing of tourism support industries to reduce leakage and increase economic viability. Very important. And then lastly, sectoral engagement, engaging and encouraging collaboration within and across the sectors of our tourism ecosystem.
TDC also plans to raise more collaboration within the sector and encourage dialogue about tourism-related businesses to create more opportunities for Bahamian entrepreneurs. For more information, please call 603-4850. I'm Lauren Seymour, and this is Tourism Today.
The 2022 graduates of Queens College in a class by themselves, having to complete their last years of high school, dealing with unprecedented disruptions brought on by the pandemic. With the commencement address, the Minister of Education, Technical and Vocational Training, the Honorable Glenys Hanna Martin, a 1975 graduate of the school, acknowledged the challenges students would have faced on their journey to receive their diploma. And despite it all, she says they succeeded.
Your presence here today, however, sitting tall, confident, upright, looking bright, and dare say, beautiful. Despite the many challenges you have faced, speaks volumes to your substance. It is testimony to your resiliency, and is a mark of your determination. I have no doubt that you are an incredible group of young people, and I invite you to listen and give yourselves a round of applause right now, and do it like you mean it.
The Minister of Education also credited parents, teachers, and other school staff with helping the graduates.
You will now leave this place forever, more or less, and will embark into the world with strength and confidence as QC comments and as young warriors. You are now transitioning into a new beginning, and the preparation you have had in this space and in these times have prepared you like no other generation has been prepared. That's the facts. It's the facts. Your hard-won testimony in these times must be made manifest in a powerful way.
Well, what a milestone. Bishop Drexel Gomez is celebrating 50 years of bishophood in the Anglican Church, and this having been ordained a priest some 61 years ago.
Above all else, I'm grateful for what the Lord has enabled me to accomplish over the years, and He has been with me. I've been a bishop in Barbados for 21 years. Then I was bishop here, and then I became archbishop in 1998 and served as archbishop for 10 years. So I've had a rather wide experience in ministry, and at every stage, God has been good and very helpful in nourishing and enabling and empowering me to carry forward with His work.
To commemorate the occasion, Gomez says a guest pastor will on Thursday speak on Anglicanism. On Friday, the official day of the anniversary, there will be a pontifical service at Christ Church Cathedral. Gomez says he's excited about the celebrations. He shares his current and future plans.
Reduce my activity as much as possible. Right now, I hope as an Agnes, really only 2 days, Wednesdays and Sundays. I'll be carrying forward with that work, with the Bible study and teaching theology, but on a reduced basis. Other than that, worshiping with the church and hopefully having more time for reading and relaxation.
Well, as we head to the break, we'd like to thank all our viewers watching us live on our social media platforms. And just in case you missed the news, be sure to head there to catch up. Stay with us. There's more after the break.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price. And you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
Join up for life insurance. Secure the ones that you love. Join up with Family Guardian. We offer full protection. Join the family. Join the family. Family Guardian. Protect the ones you love. A friend that you can trust. Family Guardian.
Innovation Small Business Fridays, coming up soon. An online event dedicated to Caribbean small business owners and entrepreneurs with everything they need to pivot to success, transform their business, and multiply their growth. With exciting keynotes by Kadeen Mayers and Mark Farrell and interactive workshops, learn how to make money, gain digital know-how, and pitch your exciting new business idea. Don't miss this opportunity. We'll be giving away $15,000 in cash and prizes. Register now at flowbusiness.co/events.
You watch them grow and make plans for them even before they're old enough to talk. You spend a lifetime of sacrifice to pave the way for their success and create a tomorrow you too can be proud of. Can you tell who is the investor? At Leno, we believe everyone who has ever put a penny aside for a future dream is an investor. If you're new to investing, Leno's financial experts stand ready to design plans based on your goals. Let's sit down and explore the options one-on-one and see how, together, we can make your dreams come true. Whether considering traditional investments like a new home, car, your own business, security in retirement, or your child's college fund, we take the confusion out of the process and make an investor out of you. Call 396-3225 for an appointment. Leno, your bridge to the future.
Rain or shine, day or night, the shopping is always special at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Olivia cooking oil, 48 ounce, $4.49. Coca-Cola sodas, 6-pack, 12 ounce, $3.49. Robin Hood flour, 5.5 pounds, $4.49. Hillendale extra large eggs, 1 dozen, $3.19. Premium boneless strip steaks, $8.99 per pound. Save today at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
To some, foreign is better, but an increasing number of Bahamians are opting to explore the Family Islands more, as Charles Fisher found out during the recent Barry Tarry Festival.
Oh, I'm loving it, I love my people, I love the atmosphere. Bring back all my family back home. My sisters and my brothers came back, my uncles, my aunts. And we have a stall too, you know. We decided to put a stall on the darker side. And we have a variety of nice dishes and food to give to our native people.
One of those family members back on the island for the first time in 54 years is V.C. Lloyd, and he sure was having fun seeing family he had not seen in years.
I was born by Bruno Lloyd, John Lloyd's daughter, and I'm the youngest of 3 kids. Mary Ann, Lawrence McKenzie, Joseph Lloyd, and Vivian Craig Lloyd.
How are you enjoying the festivities down here?
Oh, I'm enjoying it awesome. And I'm the youngest Lloyd there is.
What are you enjoying most about this weekend here?
What I enjoy the lovely ladies I see that I can't even get to talk to, but I love them.
What about the food, the atmosphere?
Oh, hey, the food is awesome, man. That crab soup is awesome. That McKenzie girls cook. My cousin, them, it's awesome.
Faith McKenzie, she gets to go back home more often than VC, and she takes advantage of it.
Well, I'm actually back and forth, you know. So I was here in April for the Easter. So I'm here just enjoying the festival.
And what she likes most about Barry Tarry?
Food, the people, the weather.
You can't tell Ethelyn Ferguson she is not from here just because she married into the family.
From then, I've been coming to Barry Tarry, and I love this place. I will make Barry Tarry, City by the Sea, my home. My middle name is fun. To be in Barry Tarry is like in heaven. Wonderful place. The people are wonderful. From I met this family, I've got nothing but love from them. Wonderful people. Barry Tarry people are wonderful people. Love it here.
Well, that was our Charles Fisher just soaking up some of the fun there in Barry Tarry, Exuma recently. It's time now for a check on Family Island weather with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, McKisher. It is that Nest Tower cam showing skies clearing in the area. Will that be sustained? Well, all the details coming up later in the newscast. Outside of our studios, it is a bit on the cloudy side, but that will change. We'll tell you why later on. 82 degrees is the current temperature. Relative humidity, 61%. Winds out of the east at 10 miles per hour. The barometric pressure, 1,015.0 millibars. That is 29.97 inches, and the pressure is steady. Temperatures around the Family Violence this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 82 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Grand Torquay at 82, Marshall, Babico, 80 degrees. The Berry Islands, 82, also Allenstown, Bimini at 82 degrees. 82 is also in Harbor Island and Rocksound, Eleuthera, Black Point, Exuma, and Kemps Bay, South Andros at 83 degrees. Fresh Creek, Central Andros, 82. Otterstown, Kid Island, San Salvador, Rumkey, and Georgetown, Exuma reporting 82s as well. And in Ragged Island, Clarence, San Long Island, and Crooked Island, mercury column just around 83 degrees, 84 in Betsy Bay, Acklins, and Matthew-Tiny Nagua. The Turks and Caicos Islands at 82 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Setup. For all areas tonight through tomorrow, the wind's going to be northeast at 10 to 15 knots, wave heights 2 to 4 feet. Low tide 10:20 tonight, another low tide at 10:30 tomorrow morning. And then on Friday, for all areas, the winds will fall off light and variable with flat seas 1 to 3 feet over the ocean. Low tide on Friday, 11:18 in the morning. High tide at 5:46 in the afternoon. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures. And they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. That's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned. Your extended weather forecast is still ahead.
Tourism today. Bahamas Tourism today.
Celebrating the book launch for Filming Bond in the Bahamas by Simon Firth, James Bond fans from around the world came together at the Atlantis Resort for an unforgettable soiree. The night's event paid tribute to the original actresses from Thunderball and gave a spotlight on iconic scenes in the Bahamas.
We want to use an opportunity like this to leverage the islands to showcase our beauty and also have it a part of our inventory of products here in the Bahamas. Many visitors from around the world come to see and enjoy and to just experience the bond of it all. And that's why one of the things that we've said tonight, bond is always better in the Bahamas.
Man of the night, Simon Firth, told us about the once-in-a-lifetime experience.
Being in the Bahamas while releasing this book is a little bit insane. It's just one of those things that I'm going to have to wake up in about 2 months' time and figure it all out. Film James Bond was created here. This is where it began back in 1957 when four gentlemen came to look at creating a screen treatment for what became Thunderball. And I look at where those people live, what their lives were like. People like Ivar Bryce, like Kevin McCloy, like Sir Sean Connery. So I look at basically all of the connections between the Bahamas and James Bond, and I hope people will enjoy the book because of that.
Lauren Seymour, and this is Tourism Today.
Shell Unleaded improves your fuel economy, giving increased miles per gallon, allowing you to do more of what you really want. Special additives used in Shell Unleaded improve your engine's efficiency. So go further with Shell Unleaded. Venture out to beaches, Junkanoo, and festivals, and bring home memories that will last a lifetime. Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
Almost every journey starts with your car. We spend most of the early stages of our lives anticipating getting our first set of wheels. When that moment finally comes, let AID be there for all your auto needs. Make it yours by accessorizing, maintaining, and repairing your car with AID. Whether you're a professional mechanic, a recent graduate, a full-time mom, or an I can fix that kind of guy. Or if you're completely clueless about what your car needs, AID will assist in providing a large variety of auto parts, a diagnostic center, and great customer service. For all life's auto journeys, we're here. AID. All you really need and more.
To be the best, world-class athletes depend on a live to stay connected. We are committed to promoting Bahamian excellence locally and on an international stage. With hundreds of thousands of people depending on us, we must be a strong, fast, and flexible network. With speeds as fast as Joanna and plans as flexible as Donald, there's a plan suitable for everyone starting as low as $1 a day. With our Freedom Plan, choose the way you want to be connected with a 1-day or 7-day Freedom Plan. With our 30-day Liberty Plan, choose the right bundle of talk, text, and data. And for postpaid, we've got Liberty bundles loaded with talk, text, data, and even roaming included. Alive's hard-working network was built for hard-working people. No matter your goal, we have a plan that you can depend on. We are Alive.
Throughout our lifetime, we must all make decisions. No matter how we choose, the right one just needs to be made. Like having J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers as your insurance partner. We've been serving the Bahamas for over 100 years. Whether you need home, motor, marine, or commercial insurance, make the right decision. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance, peace of mind.
Awesomely, this is a beautiful experience. I can't lie. This is my first time doing this sort of charity work, and I mean, it feels good to help out, you know? There's a can drive coming up, and other initiatives are part of the Giving a Helping Hand campaign, and I encourage anyone that's willing to lend their support in any way, shape, or form to come through and give of your time.
When you wanna save money on your tile supplies, who you gonna call? The Tile King. When you tile your house and you wanna look good, who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Visit the new Tile King showroom, which is internationally recognized as the finest tile showroom in the Caribbean, located in the Builders Mall on Wolf Road.
The Tile King. Who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Tiles on everything.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Welcome to sports, everybody. Playing their fourth game in as many days, having lost the first three by double digits, Team Bahamas finally able to get their rhythm and pick up their first win of the Under-15 Boys Central Basketball Tournament in Puerto Rico, taking down Costa Rica in blowout fashion, 94-57. Joshua Williams led the way with 18 points. Desmond Hall added 14, while Trevon Clark followed with 10.
We came out with a game plan, speeding them up. That led to a lot of turnovers, giving us some transition baskets. You know, we just were pushing the issue and going at them. We shot the ball a lot better from the perimeter also. You know, Costa Rica was a big team. They had a couple 6-7 kids, but we were able to utilize that with our quickness.
Balance there for offensively, defensively was pretty good. I just think during the more so the middle part of the game, I think we kind of went flat. That's in the second quarter, end of the second quarter. We went flat, but the guys held their composure. You know, they stuck to our game plan, and they, continue to put their pedal to the metal and allow us to come up with the victory.
From the WNBA, John Paul Jones and the East-leading Connecticut Sun look to improve on their 12-5 record tonight at home against the New York Liberty. This is the third meeting between the two teams this season, but the first in Connecticut. They split the first two, and the Sun is 7-2 on their home court. JJ not just making news on the court, but off of it as well. She's featured in a new ESPN cover story, which says the reigning league MVP is ready to be the face of the WNBA. The piece goes in depth with the Bahamian who chronicled her struggle with her own lifestyle.
You know, just starting to really find myself and my identity, through clothes. And I was just like, nah, I can't do this. I feel like I'm betraying, my faith. And, I threw away all my clothes and everything. I had to, put that side of myself on the back burner. I was trying so hard to be something that I wasn't. and, you know, just feeling like I had to choose between, like, my sexuality and my relationship with God, that I wasn't really being myself and living my truth. I saw, like, the strong, powerful women that were living their truth and doing it so freely and openly. And I was just like, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I just need to live my truth and, like, just really embrace who I was and who I am, and, you know, just kind of step into that fully. There should be more room, more seats at the table to be able to bring more diversity, more authenticity when we kind of talk about the representation of the league and the people that should be promoted and shown out there.
JJ also released a statement recently stating that her decision to embrace her identity came with consequences. According to the WNBA star, local telecommunications giant BTC opted not to renew her contract, even though her play has continued to improve. In response, BTC noted its continued support for Bahamian athletes, but said all endorsement contracts are executed for a specific period of time, and that the company has a strong culture supporting equality, diversity, and inclusion that does not discriminate in any form or manner. One swimmer in the pool today for the Bahamas at the FINA World Swimming Championships in Budapest, Hungary. Zaylee Elizabeth Thompson touching the wall in 1:01:04 for 42nd overall in the 100 freestyle. Lamar Taylor will be next in the pool. He swims his second event, the 50 freestyle, tomorrow. From there, Lily Higgs will close the competition for the 242 on Friday in the 50 breaststroke. Our Davis Cup tennis team swinging into action today in Costa Rica. Drawn first against Paraguay, it was a slow start as Spencer Newman lost in straight sets to Juan Barba, 6-3 and 4. Up next was Kevin Major Jr. He lost a close first set to Adolfo Vallejo, 7-5, before he was forced to retire, handing the match and tied to Paraguay. The Bahamas takes back to the court tomorrow against Jamaica. On to the minor league baseball diamond now. The Mets organization has promoted Warren Saunders from its High A affiliate, the Brooklyn Cyclones, all the way to Triple-A Syracuse. In 31 games with Brooklyn, Saunders had 20 hits, which included 6 doubles, a triple, and a home run in 98 at-bats. He also had 4 runs batted in and a .201 batting average. Saunders made his debut last night against fellow Bahamian Lucius Fox and the Rochester Red Wings. He went 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts in a 3-2 loss. Also on the Triple-A diamond last night, Chavez Young making a web gem in center field for the Buffalo Bison. It actually went down as the high mark highlight of the night as Young went over the wall to save 3 runs and prevent a grand slam, which would have tied the game. Buffalo would hold on for an 8-7 victory. Elsewhere on the minor league diamond last night, B.J. Murray had 2 doubles, finished 2 for 4, a run scored, but his South Bend Cubs lost to Peoria 7-4. Deshaun Knowles also had 2 hits and 3 plate appearances for Tri-City in a 5-2 loss to Eugene. Ian Lewis, meantime, 1 for 3 the runs scored as Jupiter lost to Daytona 9-5. Come this weekend, it's expected to be a showdown in the men's decathlon at the B3's Nationals. Former national record holder Ken Mullings battling current holder Kendrick Thompson. Thompson recently reset the record last month in Jacksonville, amassing 7,788 points. The 2 University of the Bahamas products have exchanged the record over the past 2 years, and Mingo's head coach Ed Nalrol says this increased competition and interest in the event is great for the sport.
This is new to have 2 Bahamian athletes on the verge of qualifying for Worlds. You know, this is special. And the fact that they are actually training at home.
Team Bahamas getting ready for the 44th Chess Olympiad next month. Approximately 2,000 participants from almost 200 countries will attend, and the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture is fully on board.
The Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture has been assisting the Federation for some time, and I must say that based on the results that we're seeing and the increasing number of chess masters, I can tell you that we are committed to continuing to assist the Federation in its efforts. Particularly, we're going to make sure that you get your team to India for this Olympiad.
That's a look at sports. Check on weather up next.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Summer is here and the savings are heating up at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Rainbow corned beef, 12 ounce, $2.49. Best Value whole kernel corn, 15 ounce, $1.09. Sunny Delight Smooth or Tangy, 64 ounce, 2 for $5. Sweet strawberries, 1 pound, $4.99. Whole chicken wings, $1.89 per pound. Sizzling savings at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
Awesomely, this is a beautiful experience. I can't lie. This is my first time doing this sort of charity work, and I mean, it feels good to help out, you know. There's a can drive coming up, and other initiatives are part of the Giving a Helping Hand campaign, and I encourage anyone that's willing to lend their support in any way, shape, or form to come through and give of your time.
She has served with distinction in the fields of politics, law, and the trade union movement. Dame Janet Bostwick is a trailblazer. First female president of the Bar Association, first woman elected to the Bahamas Parliament, and first female Attorney General. Thursday, 8 p.m., tune in to the ZNS Network as she is honored at a luncheon held by the Commonwealth Women Parliamentary Association, the Bahamas branch, on the occasion of the 40th anniversary of being elected to Parliament. That's Thursday at 8 p.m. on the ZNS Television Network.
Ordinary People is back with a new season. Join us on the ZNS Network.
Everybody drugs the most. Not New York's bestsellers, the hood bestseller.
I like that. Coming soon.
People are only going to say yes or no. And if they say no, keep on trying until you get a yes.
Ordinary People.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, that frontal boundary now in the southeast Bahamas will continue to trigger some showers around Crooked Island, Acklins, Long Key, Mayaguana, and Inagua. Those areas can still get pockets of showers and thunderstorms tonight. Elsewhere in the northwest and central parts of our country, high pressure will take control of our weather, meaning improved conditions with skies beginning to clear. Tonight, we're looking at mainly clear skies, temperature 76 degrees. Tomorrow, it's going to be partly sunny, a bit on the warm side, 87 degrees for your high temperature. The extended weather forecast over the next several days, beautiful weather right into Saturday, but come Sunday, things become cloudy, showers return to the forecast, and that will taper off on Monday with some isolated showers taking place on Monday afternoon. Thereafter, things improving again as we head into the middle part of next week. Makisha.
Well, thanks, Basil. That does it for the Bahamas tonight. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. From all of us here at ZNS, thank you for watching and good night.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
It's all about improving their own lives and the lives of others. Hello, I'm Beverly Curry, and welcome to Ordinary People. In this segment, we are focusing on some women in Eleuthera who are making a mark